If I make an argument against Didi and you, Mom, just you two, it always becomes a sexist argument. Okay, the men in the family think this way, the women in the family think
Because
this
you
way.
are being
Not
sexist.
everything
You're
is
not
directed.
letting
I'm
Mom
not
do
being
her thing.
sexist. I have never said women can't do this or women are more take on
If
more money.
I-
I know women that are extremely careful with money.
Hello, namaste. Welcome to the Zarna Garg family podcast. We are so excited to have you here. All 5 Gargs are in the house, and today's episode is going to be sizzling. It's going to be hot. There's going to be secrets revealed. There is going to be, oh my God, I'm actually a little scared about this episode because I'm scared about what I'm going to say and what my family members are going to say. But let me not waste a minute. Let's get right into it. My husband of 25 years, 26 years, Shalab Garg, Wall Street veteran, my daughter who's just finished college, Zoya Garg, my son who's just finished freshman year in college, Bridge Garg, and Veer Garg, my middle schooler. This episode is about secrets relating to money. What are our money secrets? What are our weird, quirky habits about money? What are we spending on? What are we saving on? What are we doing that we hope nobody finds out? What are we doing that maybe somebody is proud of, but no one has seen? Who wants to reveal their first
Okay, let's
secret?
get right into it. The
Yeah.
truth is that me, Dad, and Veer all share one trait, and that's that all three of us are very careful with money.
Oh,
Now,
what?
that trait has not been
Whoa.
shared with the other side of the family
That
at all.
felt
There's
very
no
divisive.
truths to this.
That felt very
It's
divisive.
That's
100%
kind of true. We
He's
take
telling the
Subway
truth, I think.
everywhere. We're careful with what we eat. We eat simple things. We don't.
Okay. Okay. That's how this is gonna go. Bridge, based on what? Like, can you back up your assertion with
Yeah.
some evidence?
First of all, me, Dad, and Veer are always the first one to take public transportation over private cars, which we've talked about so
Okay,
many times
I'm
on this
so
podcast.
tired of this because I took the longest commute out of everyone in this family for years.
Yes.
Okay? For years. Right? And so
Yes.
I am always like, you guys are always giving me slack. I would rather, now that I earn money, spend money on things that matter, including safe transportation so I can work in the car. It's called being smart. Work smart, not hard.
Yes. Yes.
How much work are you guys getting done in the car? I
Dude,
feel like this is
Mom
like,
and I are literally,
sometimes like a big hoax.
Yeah.
that's not a
And
hoax.
like I work in the subway too. It's not like I mean my
like-
job is the most time sensitive with respect to the markets, and I have plenty of Wi-Fi connection.
You
often.
can't take calls in the car in the
Okay, I
subway.
don't have calls to take, so that's true. I don't have to call.
By the time one car ride has gone back and forth, we've taken so many meetings that like we've done like a whole day's worth of work
Who's
in one
V?
car ride.
Who's
Me
V?
and Mom.
That's what
Me
I'm saying.
and
That's
Mom.
what I'm saying.
Me and Mom.
So you have been talking to your mom and back. That's your calls.
Yeah, but even if we're talking about business, so what? You guys don't value. Let me tell you something. Time has a different meaning to men and women. It just does. We have 50,000 responsibilities that you guys don't even think about. Like tonight, we're going to somebody's house for dinner. Are you thinking about what you're going to bring, what you're going to make, what we're celebrating? Have any of you three thought about that? That we're invited to somebody's house?
Well, that's
for a
not
meal?
my job to think about.
Oh, okay.
Like,
Oh, so
Dad's
now.
job,
Oh my.
But that's not Zoya's job to think about it either.
But she
Deegan's
does.
job either.
Of all the people in this house, she's the most likely to plan a celebration. She's the most likely to write a deep, meaningful card. She's the most like who. None of you guys even think about all these things. What makes life life? What makes family family? None
I
of
mean,
you.
are
Guys
you going to define what makes life life? Like,
Yeah, I part of living.
I mean, who
is-
made you responsible for that decision?
So we should all just do nothing for each other ever.
Yeah, sure. If that is
We're
what it takes.
returning to a binary state. Like
No,
I'm
see,
actually
this
on
is
your
the thing,
side, but
that
this
the
is
men who consume women's invisible labor always come down to this. It's like, well, don't do it then.
Yeah,
We're
exactly. That invisible labor is defined by the woman and then pursued by the woman and becomes the liability of the man. It makes no sense.
It's not liability, it's a responsibility. And I have come a long way of saying, okay, you're not included, right? You prefer that. So I don't include you. But I don't want to live that sad life. I don't want to live a life of not being connected.
we've
We are-
completely
for
strayed.
example, tonight somebody has invited
Yeah,
us
this-
to their house, and it's that person's graduation. I want to celebrate them. I don't want to live the life that you recommend, where we just do nothing, say nothing, and show up empty-handed.
Mom, but you're completely now we're on some other topic altogether.
Why?
Because the question
You.
was about secrets as it relates to
But those
money.
things cost money. Though celebrating somebody requires planning. It costs money. What I'm saying is that's one example of things that the guys just don't think of. Bridge fired the first shot, right? That the three men are quote unquote careful with money. I'm saying, are you saving all that money and what are you giving up when you save all that money? Like, give me an example of actually doing something thoughtful, going a little extra above and beyond, and then having saved money.
The food that me and Veer consume. Me and Veer are very careful with what we eat, making sure that it like
We
stands
know that
underneath
you
the.
take care of yourselves. We know that. We got it. Do
But
you
that's
do anything
already a
to
big
take care?
step forward
But you've been operating on this bare
for a
minimum
teenage
standard for
kids,
close to 20 years.
for
And that's a
19-year-old.
step forward. We are part of a family unit, right? We're a family unit of 5 at the very least. There's
At the
no
very
question.
least, there's nobody else.
No, but then extended family is like tonight we're going to extended family. That's not true. I have a sister that I care deeply about. I have a brother I care. Your dad has a brother he
Hold
cares
on.
about.
I feel like you're going for these personal appeals, but we're not actually answering the question.
I'm not. I'm trying to get to the question. I'm saying I get it that you're taking care of yourself. That's nobody's
No,
question.
they're saying that when they spend money on food,
Yeah.
they make sure to spend money on very inexpensive types of food. Like they're very
But Zoya,
mindful.
when I'm going out food shopping, I'm thinking for 5. How is this not related? When I go out food shopping, I don't just go buy my food and sit in a corner and eat it. If I did that, I also would just walk and get my thing. When I go out, I carry bags and bags of what your dad likes, what your brother likes, what your other brother likes, what's in season, who's visiting. What am I going to do? Carry 10 bags in a Subway?
No. I mean,
And I'm saying that because they don't think about anybody else, it's a lot easier to live a life where, like, oh, I didn't spend any money.
yes.
Like,
but
what
to
is-
be
Hold on.
honest, I don't
Thinking
fall
about
into
anybody
that
else is not
category.
true. To think about somebody else is not true. I literally every time I order, I always think about Veer and what we are gonna eat that night. It's
And he
never just
asks
like
me
order
often as
bread.
well.
And I ask, and Dad always asks me and Veer if we want something from his restaurant. He
I
knows
I
exactly.
knew we had become 2 teams in this house. We basically
What?
become, yeah.
Yeah,
So
but
you're
mom,
just
you
making
got
up
me.
words.
No
You
one's
got
ever asked
me.
me. No one's ever asked me. I'm in
You're
the
not at
house.
home. You're wait. It's
No.
rare
And
that you're at
also
home to
because
ask
you're
you.
vegetarian, it's a harder order to make. But I make it a point now always to pick a place that I think that you would like. In fact, we went to a vegan place just maybe 2 weekends ago, or maybe 3 weekends ago.
Oh yeah, Veer, what did you think of that place? You had
The
vegan
vegan
food for the
place,
first
it was
time.
terrible. So bad.
It was great. There
It
was
was no,
nothing
no, no.
bad about it.
The
I
cheese
thought
tasted
you had-
fake. It was like plastic. No,
No,
no, we're
what?
not. We're
I
not
don't
going
think it
back
was
there.
plants. I think it was very, very good. I liked it. I would go back to that place. I thought it was very filling. The food there.
Anyway, I don't know if we're going to be able to hold up this episode. Anybody else have a money secret they want to talk about besides congratulating
I-
themselves?
Yeah, I have
As
no
Brit just did.
congratulations. Yeah, I'm not in this team. I'm happy to be the first to confess that I spend $7 on a coffee every day. I do. I spend $7 on a coffee.
Why-
Why not
what kind of
why not
coffee is
get
it?
a coffee machine?
No, it's just not the same. It doesn't hit. It's a
What is special about that coffee? Tell
First
us.
of all, I always go to the places with the fancy almond milk. There are now coffee places
Oh
where
my
they make
God.
the almond milk themselves.
Ridiculous.
I am that person that's out there hunting for the almond milk made places. The almond milk itself is more expensive. On top of that, it's a whole experience, right? They put the cup and then they put the latte and then the almond milk and then it's a whole thing. And I have to say, I've done it every day for now like 2 years.
Yeah.
I don't even know what
Wow.
that adds up to. That's 7 times 365
lot.
times 2.
It's a lot, but that's okay. The age
That's
of women's
$1,400. That's
only
not the end
role-
of the world.
the age of the women only being applauded for being frugal is over. It is dead and buried.
Bro, nobody is making this like a
No.
man versus
When
women
was
argument.
that age?
Tell them.
What are you talking
No
about?
one is making this a
No,
man versus
Bridge,
women
because when
argument.
you
It has
said
been-
no, because Bridge, when you said
Why
when you
why
were
is it
telling
universal
100 years,
for
the
men and
only
women?
value women had was like, oh, but I run my house so tight. I run my house so.
See,
I
this
do
is the
everything
issue with
myself. Like, screw that. Nobody's
The
doing
thing-
everything.
You're
We're all
extracting into
women
so
in
many
this
different
household
things.
making
These-
a lot of
we
money,
make it-
and we're gonna live.
yeah, we're gonna
Why
live,
we get
Mom. We're gonna
argument-
buy our sneakers. Yeah.
If I make an argument against Didi and you, mom, just you two, it always becomes a sexist argument. Okay, the men in the family think this way, the women in the family think
Because
this
you
way.
are being
Not
sexist.
everything
You're
is
not
directed.
letting
I'm
mom
not
do
being
her thing.
sexist. I have never said women can't do this or women are more take on
If
more money.
I
I know women that are extremely careful with money. In fact, I know I'm very close with women that are much more cheaper than I am.
What women are
Not
you talking
cheaper.
about?
No, not cheaper. I don't want to use the cheaper or cheaper. Better, who better use their money than I do.
I get it, Bridge. I get that that is a school of thought. I get it. But that is not our school of thought. There are people who will
Why
say
are you making it a man versus woman argument?
in our house that's what it's become. The
How?
three of
Yes.
us
How?
versus the two of us.
Yes, mom, you
In
tell
our house, that's
them.
what it's become. Because
But
didn't
it's
you just
not.
see?
It's not. There's no
You
like.
opened with your dad, my brother, and me. Like you made it
But
a
it has.
sexist
But it has
argument.
nothing to do with like gender being
Guys,
attached to
I
that.
have to eat sweet green. Like, I have to eat my salads. Like, I just, for my mental health, I need a really juicy salad. And juicy
My
salads
main
are
money thing that I
expensive.
use is that I spend on Orange Theory and Barry. I really enjoy working out in a group. It's very motivating. It makes fun to try to keep up with the younger people that are working out there. And it's near impossible for me to wake up, but still feels good to do that. So, I do it twice a week. It costs $40. I've done it for a while.
Why don't
Um,
you say something to him, Bridge?
There's a difference between purchasing like coffees, which are much less useful than going to a gym class and
Whoa!
making your
Hold on.
strengthening
Those
your body and
coffees,
mind.
okay, those coffees got
We
mom on
can't
the New York
compare
Times
a coffee
to
bestselling
be
to a
list.
fair,
big
Bridge,
Those
workout
to be
coffees
class.
fair,
got mom
Bridge,
on the New York Times bestselling
I
list.
I don't cheap out on the food either for myself.
No,
Your
I know.
mother's
I didn't say you
I
did.
order expensive food for myself when I do
I said
at
me and
work.
Veer for
Okay.
that point.
Oh, you said me and Veer. Oh, you did not say the
Yeah,
three of us.
I
Okay,
did
so
No,
not
he's
say
no,
three of us for
correcting it.
that point.
I
no,
do order
but
expensive food.
you can't just think that's like knowing, there's a saying to know the cost of everything and not the value of nothing. That's what this is. You have
Wow.
to
Drop it, mom.
the valuation of the things, it's not just the dollars that you're spending. It's what is that expense getting you. That mean you cannot be thinking so small that like, oh, I save money on the coffee. We when you have big ambitions, you got to think big things. And I know I'm going to get flamed in this episode. I know it, because the
Me
vast
too.
majority of people are going to be like, be frugal, be this, be that. And I'm telling you, nobody who became a billionaire became that way because he didn't drink outside coffee. It just is not how it
Yeah, I
works.
have to also say that, like, even in Silicon Valley, right? Like, it's not like New York City where people are just. New York City is a culture of spending money. It is, right? Like, in order to do fun things, because of the weather, I actually believe this, because of the weather, you have to probably spend money on something to like have an indoor activity, whether that's like a pastry or a coffee or a show ticket or a comedy show ticket, or like even if you wanted to go for a walk in the park, it's like you can only do that weather constraint. Like, whereas in California, there's a lot more opportunity to do things for free because it's just nicer outside, so you can do that stuff. And even here, I feel like the people that I feel like the people that don't that have the most money / have the biggest ambitions, they have quiet luxuries, right? They're very quiet about the money they spend. You wouldn't know that like that guy that's walking down the street is really wealthy, but his t-shirt, even though it's a t-shirt, is like a $300 t-shirt. It's like a $300 cotton t-shirt. Does that make sense? So it's like you can't really see it, but it's there. Whereas in New York, it's a lot more loud, is what I've noticed.
New York requires money for sure, but I do believe that this whole thing is designed basically to control women, and some
Yeah.
people, I'm not
Now,
going to
again, men versus women. Can you explain this point? I don't get
Nothing
it.
to do with it.
this has happened. Women get villainized all the time. Oh, you get your nails done outside, like yeah.
Ooh.
No one is. No one
Okay,
is.
okay. Let me
Nobody
ask
said
you.
that.
Let me ask you. Since you've had complete financial freedom in the
Yeah.
last couple of years,
Yeah.
your own money, the way you may want to spend
Yeah.
it,
Yeah.
and dependency of other people on you,
Yeah.
have your spending habits dramatically changed from the?
Yes.
So, in what way? Tell us.
I've actually become more liberal with money. I've invested money for the first time in my life. You know that.
Mhm.
I put money, I found a way to put money aside in the stock market for the first time in my life, even though we've lived in New York and he's had a Wall Street career for over 25 years. I did that. Second, I spend money on very expensive things because those things help me grow my business. I'll give you an example right now. I'm notoriously not a fan of Hermes bags. I'm just not. It's fine. It's a fine brand. It's not my kind of thing. But I put one video up with an Hermes bag, and the traction and the engagement it got was through the roof. And now I realize why women wear these expensive brands, because everybody tunes in to see it. Now it's a business expense to me because I don't personally care to carry those things. But if it's going to help my business, I'm going to do it.
So then
And
that's a business thing, right? I'm saying
but
Yeah.
my whole life is
expenses
that.
for yourself.
Sitting in the back seat of an Uber is a business expense for me because I am actually working. I don't think you guys understand. I get asked all the time, how in 6 years have you put out not one, two comedy specials on national, global streaming platforms, not only written a book, but delivered a New York Times bestseller, written a network sitcom, acted in a movie that is now entering its 8th week of theatrical release? I get asked all the time, how have you done all of that in 6 years? You know how? By buying back every minute that I can from anybody else.
Tell them. Tell
So
them.
and I do this with my own money. I don't lean on anybody's money. In fact, the minute I got, because I know that the people who are super wealthy, I'm not talking about the average middle class, I'm talking about the people who hit the highest points of wealth, who are like in the $1 billion range and up. They are not sitting there counting their coffees and manicures. They're just they're thinking so big. Yes, they're very careful with their business expenses. This is not to say that they're not careful with their business expenses. We're going to take a brief pause because this episode is brought to you by BetterHelp. BetterHelp is the world's largest online therapy platform.
With 4.9 stars out of 1.7 million reviews.
It serves over 5 million people.
And you know how tough it is sometimes to change someone if you don't want them? It's easy to do that here. You can change therapists anytime.
Not only that, it's the easiest solution for busy schedules. BetterHelp gets parents, families, everyone involved and able to talk about their feelings, especially when it's really hard and you need a sensitive space to do so.
Well, you could talk to me, but anyway, BetterHelp is a better platform to talk to, and they have it seamless. Look, there's a lot of stress around us. There's no way to get around it. But the way to beat it is to get on BetterHelp and have access to help when you need it at the drop of a hat. Have multiple options. Check them out right now. Check out BetterHelp. As the largest online therapy provider in the world, BetterHelp can provide access to mental health professionals with a diverse variety of expertise. Unwind from work with BetterHelp. Our listeners get 10% off their first month at betterhelp.com/Zarna. That's betterhelp, HELP.com/Zarna. Go check them out now. Yes, big businesses control their expenses, but there's a difference between controlling your expenses and investing in things that you need to grow. And as South Asians, as brown people, I'm telling you that inordinate amount of valor and pride has been placed on, we save money. Nobody saved their way into living a big life. It's just mathematically not possible. If you have big ambitions and you want to do big things in your life, you got to think big, act big, and be bold.
You are confusing
Wow.
the term save money with using your money more wisely. And that's the argument that I'm trying to make on this podcast. Because Didi, for example, is buying $7 coffees every single day when she can save both time and money by just making her own coffee at home. She
No,
spends
but how are you saving time making your own coffee?
it takes 20 seconds.
No,
nothing.
I'll also
nothing takes
explain.
20
I'll
seconds.
explain.
First of all, that's a lie. Nothing takes 20 seconds. And I will counter that. Forget her and her $7 coffee puts her in the Stanford ecosystem. She's standing in line next to other entrepreneurs who are doing things. The world that we fought for, the world that we fought to put her for, it is an epic mistake to sit in your room and obsess over that 20-cent coffee when you could be out mixing with the universe and mixing with humanity and seeing what other people are doing for the low cost of $7.
I
But,
honestly,
Mom, not everybody has-
hold on. When you buy something, you have to think about what is the value you're going to get back. Whether it's not just time, but like what is the value you will get. And for me, my $7 coffee means I stand around in the coffee shop. I meet a bunch of different kinds of people. It's not like I'm like
You're just repeating
lolling.
what Zarna, your mom already said. She literally just said that.
Yeah, but I'm saying that from my personal experience, that is actually true. It's not like she's just making something up.
I understand, but she already made that point. So
You know what?
Anyway,
You know
yeah.
what, guys? I just want to
Yeah.
say, I just feel like this is very divisive, and honestly, I question the fact that you guys don't seem to understand how much money it takes to even be considered in the same playing field as men. For women, you have to wear such high, nice, like you have to look. Your appearance as a woman is like mathematically and scientifically been shown to dramatically increase your value in terms of like how much payout you get and how much
Yep.
value you are considered to bring. Okay? For that mere fact alone, that justifies all the workout classes that women have to do. It justifies all the blowouts they have to get. It justifies the nails. It justifies the makeup. It justifies costs that you guys can't even fathom. Do you guys know how hard it is to wear makeup every single day? Like, do you think women like to do it?
No one is persecuting for
No,
these things.
you
guys
are
are making this so
persecuting.
existential. It's insane.
No, because you
Nobody
guys
is bringing
made
up
it.
makeup.
You made it a
Nobody's
men
bringing up
women
nail polish.
thing.
No, we
Except
didn't.
Zoya,
We
I
have
could say
never
to
made
that.
it a man woman
I
thing.
could say to that no amount of makeup, workout, or looking good for a man will ever get him to that look, where the look alone will get that man anything.
And also, the truth is, also studies have
So
literally
you're
shown
saying
that
pretty
men.
privilege is a thing.
I'm saying that pretty privilege for a man
It is a thing.
is not a thing at all. Whereas you just
That's
said
not true. Pretty privilege
How?
for
No,
men
for
happens
men.
all the
For
time.
men, on media, men who look better do better on social media than men who don't look good. That is literally a fact. So men also have to take care of their body, take care of their everything. Not to the level where they can purchase makeup or anything, but they also have to take care of themselves, right? No one is like arguing that like that those costs are not effective. Those are obviously very like important, efficient costs. I'm saying that all these other stupid costs can be so easily supplemented, and you don't have to make them every single
Bridge,
day.
you don't have to
Why?
use the word stupid. That makes it sound so
Okay, fine.
judgmental.
All of these extra costs, like getting coffee every day, I understand she's in the ecosystem. That's great. She doesn't have to get a coffee every day. I have
My
literally like there are so many different things that you can make purchases and just do it in
I
varying
don't want
moments.
to hear it. I don't want to hear it. I don't drink alcohol. I've never drank
Yes.
alcohol.
No one is saying you drink alcohol.
No, I'm just
Where
gonna
is this
say it.
coming
I'm just
from?
gonna say it. I'm just gonna say it.
Oh
Okay?
my God.
If I'm not gonna drink alcohol, I'm gonna drink coffee. I need something. Or I will
You
literally
need a
shrivel
drug?
up and die. Yes,
Veer,
I
what
do,
about you,
Bridge.
Beta?
Didi, if I were to go to school, there's a place near my school every day that sells drinks. If I were to go there before school every day to see my friends and socialize and spend $7 on a drink, would that not be ridiculous?
No, I'd be like, good job, Veer. Also, you're in
No.
a different phase of
$7
life.
every day for 2
Hold on,
years?
hold
You're
on,
in a
hold on.
different phase of life. Like, maybe I'll meet my future husband in one of these coffee shops. You don't know. I'm literally dating. I'm out here at 10 a.m. like I'm seeing the fish in the sea.
Fish in the
The
sea.
fish in the sea.
But Veer, if you were
The
like,
equivalent Veer for you would be a different one, which is,
yeah,
to hang out with your friends at the subway or whatever else kids at 13 would do. That's not a one-to-one comparison.
the thing is that it's a question of, do you trust that the person who's spending the money, like I'm asking you guys, I spend more money than anybody in this family for sure right now, right? On everything, on the look, on the clothes, on everything. Do you guys even question, do you guys question that I'm spending, that when I spend that money, I'm not serious and thinking about my business constantly? Do you ever question that?
I don't ever question it.
I'm asking the kids.
Never.
So that is what the difference is, Veer. That it's not about, you want to get a $7 juice every day, go get it every day. But put that time and energy that you're buying with that juice towards something. And I've been saying this to you guys since day one. Like we notoriously don't take vacations, right? As a family, we don't spend money on vacations, which means long weekends, we spend a lot of money just staying at home. We do all these things.
Look, I will say I made too many extraneous, extravagant expenses in my 30s and early 40s that I wish I did not. This includes, cars that one of them your mother sold. It includes clothes that I wish I'd never bought. It includes shoes that I wish I'd never bought. It includes importing shoes from foreign countries that I wish I'd never did. And bridge. So I don't belong in the category that you are trying to describe in your comments, right? I actually did multiples of your sister and for a much longer time than your sister, right? And your mother was there watching it all. So I'm just saying that I wish I never did all of those. I don't do any of those today. I still wear very good clothes. I like wearing nice clothes, but I spend more time on my body, because if you have a good body, any clothes will look good on you. Instead, so I spend more time and money on things like Orange Theory and Barry, things like eating well, things like eating once a day, but eating well, right? So hence, I've changed my expense pattern, but I feel like it's more productive today than it was in my 30s
Wait,
and early
I just
40s.
want to say this story because I actually think this is something that mom is getting at, which I do think is the larger theme and lesson of this podcast episode, which is that if you want to aim big, it helps to just aim big, right? And focus on the top line. And like, for example, I really wanted to get a new graduation dress. I have dresses. I have white dresses. I have, different things I could wear. But I'm graduating from college and I wanted to get a new dress. And I couldn't justify paying for it out of like the money I already had. I was just like, this feels like a lot. But then I thought really creatively and said, what are some ways I can make disposable income right now so that I could buy this dress effectively? And then I booked all these consulting appointments with authors that were like organically kind of reaching out saying, hey, saw that you led Zarna's best-selling book campaign, would be so interested to just pick your mind. I set up a really, really easy way that you could just book 45 minutes with me and pay me a large sum of money for my time. And I've booked 3 of those already. 50% has already been paid up front. So I was easily able to afford my graduation dress and heels, but I'm not going to buy new heels because I'm going to save that money for my coffees. But if I didn't have a very expensive lifestyle that I wanted to maintain, would I be motivated to work this hard? I don't know.
Hmm.
Right? Like, I don't know. I think there's this amazing. Sorry, I'm just finishing this tangent, but have you guys watched The Queen's Gambit?
Yes,
Yes.
I
Okay,
love
mom
that
hasn't
series.
watched it. I think it's probably one of my favorite TV shows. It's about this
The chess
young
one, right?
yeah,
Yeah. Mhm.
it's about this young girl who goes from being like a impoverished girl to then becoming a chess grandmaster. But the common theme throughout the show is that the reason why she wants to win a lot of these chess matches is so she can afford literally superficial things. Like she uses the money and she buys like makeup, dresses, drugs, alcohol. Like she just buys stuff. Like she's constantly just buying stuff and wants to buy more stuff. I'm not saying that's right. I know that's like a dramatized version of it. But I do think that just being honest about your superficial commercial interests are not a bad thing and they actually can be a motivator. So maybe I do have a $7 coffee, but maybe also that $7 coffee is getting me up in the morning, like booking these appointments, which I think it is because I have no choice.
Okay. I guess that's a good point. Like superficial things can be very motivating, Bridge. That's true.
Shalab, like you're reflecting back that you used to spend the money and now you don't and all of that, right? Do you have any regrets about how you've handled your own money?
Hundreds of, I mean,
Like
so
give me
much
your
regret.
top 3.
My biggest regret is to not have made more durable, non-perishable investments, like stuff that makes money grow as opposed to just depreciate. I mean, everything I bought depreciated. Like I don't have one thing to show from my entire 25 years of work that actually appreciated in value as opposed to depreciated in value.
Your kids.
I,
Hey.
I do like you saying that, Veer. So yeah, that's a very smart thing to say. Makes
I
me feel
mean,
good.
your kids are
Um,
gonna 10x your stuff. I mean,
that's not
Veer
the
maybe
biggest regret.
20, but
I bought cars, I bought clothes, I bought, stupid watches. I bought like everything that I bought depreciated in value, and not just like over time, almost immediately depreciated in value. You asked for 3, right? I guess that's one.
Yeah, yeah.
The second, I would say, I mean, that's my biggest regret. I don't have any other major regret with respect to spending habits.
Hmm.
my money secret as well is I once spent $2,000 of my tutoring money that I earned, like hard earned tutoring money I made when I was in high school, on a crypto coin that went to the ground actually. And I did it because my
Oh my
neighbor
god, it
in my
went to the
freshman.
I remember when you bought it, it's gone.
No, the one that I bought for you is stable. It's just not doing very much. I bought Ethereum for me and Zarna when I was a freshman, so we've been holding on Ethereum for a long time. I will never sell my Ethereum. but I did buy a completely ludicrous coin that was like, slated to do great, and I did it
Oh,
to
somebody
impress a guy.
recommended it, right?
No, I literally did it to impress a guy, and
What?
not only did I not impress the guy, the coin
Oh
also
my
went to
god!
shit.
Now you know. Never ever try to impress a guy like that.
It didn't work.
Veer, what about you? What is your secret expenses that you like to make?
I know.
Well, the one thing that I like to do to save, or not save, to value my time, is that I like to collect coins every time that I spend money. I just like to keep the coins, and there's like a jar outside filled with coins. It's like $200, whatever it is. What I like to spend on is food. I like to eat out whenever I'm with friends. Like, I like to spend on experience to make memories with my friends and stuff. So whenever it's like a movie opportunity or a hangout, like I'll always go and not think twice. So if it's ever come out, get food with us, go to this place, whatever, I'll spend it.
You also love spending money on cologne. That has
Not
to be your
anymore.
biggest.
I
Well,
used
you
to.
did spend a lot of money on cologne in the last year, right?
What's
Yeah.
an expense that you don't see value in? Like where your friends want to do something and you're like, you know what? I don't see it. I don't want to do it.
What do you mean?
Like I don't know, like concert tickets maybe, or like a Knicks game or whatever. Like something that your friends like to spend money on, but you're like, I don't see it. I don't want to. I don't want to be a part of that. Is that a thing in your
Well, I
mind?
guess it's more of family stuff for them. Like they all go skiing and stuff. That's just something that we don't do.
Right.
Right.
I do like expensive creams that Veer likes too. Whether it's
Yeah, but
Yeah.
it's like the question is like, what's a secret? Like what? Like I have a secret, and I'm not telling you guys because I don't want to be found out. So
Oh
we're
my
not gonna
God.
go down this road. But I do
You
have.
gotta tell us now.
Is it the
now you
secret
have
phone
to tell.
line?
Huh? What?
The secret phone line?
I do have a secret phone line. That was another secret, actually. I wasn't thinking about that. I have a secret emergency phone line. That number nobody has.
So what's the point of it?
I have it for my safety. So when
Oh,
I'm out on the road
Dude,
and
it
stuff,
makes no sense as well because your safety also depends on your loved ones knowing what's what, and you're just withholding like
the
this.
people who need to know it. That's all I'm gonna say.
What is your secret? Can you tell us now?
I have my own Netflix, Hulu, Spotify,
Oh my
and all
god.
accounts that are not related to this family because I've had it with everybody changing the password back and forth, back and forth. But I'm in the middle of an airplane trying to do something, and my show will end because somebody back home changed the password or something, and now I've given up. And
so we are paying twice for everything.
I'm not gonna say anything, but that's something
This
that
is a 5-minute fix at max.
no, it's
It's
not.
just
Yeah, this is the thing. Everybody thinks everything takes 2 minutes and 5 minutes. Nothing in life happens in 5 minutes. Nothing. Like if I want to log into my own Netflix account right now on the TV, this TV, by the way, that hasn't turned on in 10 years. Shall I tell them. This
Yeah.
is a TV in our bedroom that hasn't turned on in 10 years. We haven't turned because we can't figure out how to turn it on. Nothing in life is 5 minutes.
what?
Zarna, but you said that about the printer, and that did work.
Okay. Shall I tell the kids about the printer? Tell the
Okay.
kids about the printer.
She bought this really expensive printer, and for the longest time, 20 plus years, every such gadget, whether it's a printer, another electronic gadget, Zarna would figure out a way to get it installed and working for everyone, right? And this time she bought this really expensive printer and did not challenge me, but said that without asking me, without questioning me, without asking me for where is what, if you can get this printer up and running. And I did. Ultimately, I did
Yeah.
on my own, with my own hands. And that printer is now
It works
working,
very well too.
and it works very well.
How
why
long did it
don't you
take you,
applaud
though?
him? We
It
give
took
him
me
an
20
Olympic
minutes. It
medal
took me
because
2
he got
hours
his
because,
printer working.
I mean, what is the point of then asking me to do something if there is not even any
But this
credit?
is the thing. Like, why do I have to ask you to install a printer in your
Mom,
own house?
stop it, man. Give
No,
him
but
some
like it's
credit.
insane. Why is this an invite-only situation? Like, just get a freaking printer.
Invite only.
You think somebody invited me to set it up? We have two kids in college. You know how much paper we printed? You
Yeah,
think
we
somebody
did.
was saying to me, please, I invite you to do this and ask me to do like
I
the
think these things
language is
are directly
problematic.
correlated to who earns the money, Zarna. Like I was making all the money at the time, and I didn't think it was my job to do anything more. And that thing has changed where you're making a lot of money, so I have to contribute elsewhere.
Guys, that's what I'm saying.
I
I'm
think it's
saying
pretty
that.
simple. It's not that complicated.
Wait,
It's
I
not
just.
about gender roles or any such thing. If
Well,
I'm making the money and working my ass off to continue to make that money, and you're doing basically raising up the kids, then you will do other such things like installing of the gadgets as well. Now that you're making the money and more money than I am, then I am doing this other stuff. And it's as simple as that.
I genuinely think, guys.
Whoever brings the bacon gets to keep the, what is the saying? Attached to bacon?
What?
I know the saying, but I don't think you're using it correctly. I think
I
it's
don't think
just.
you're using it correctly.
I think it's just bring home the bacon.
Yeah.
Guys, I'm so tired. You guys are so ridiculous. Like, I don't know.
What are
I
you
also
ridiculous?
spent another thing I spend a lot of money on. I do think I probably spend the most money in this house on things that don't matter. I do think that I am the culprit. I'm not proud of it, but also as the only adolescent girl.
Well, she would play the girl card.
This is ridiculous. Hey, I'm telling you, they've done this entire episode. They played this card. It's been like the get out of
just-
jail free card.
it's just-
At the convenience of it.
We don't have any HR, and I have nobody to consult. So I.
You didn't tell us what the expense was.
Okay, one thing I spend money on very expensive candles, if you can believe it. I spend money on the diptyque, like.
I gave you that. Yeah, I remember that.
No, but then I bought another one for myself.
Oh
Mom.
my god.
You did give it to me.
You and Shah Rukh Khan. Shah Rukh Khan likes this too.
I love a diptyque candle. I think it this isn't even an ad. I love like a very gorgeous smelling candle. To me, it makes me feel very alive.
Bridge, what do you agree on spending money on? You might be the most frugal in this household. So what is an expense that makes sense in your eyes?
Anything that can be related towards your business or building of your personal health mentally or physically. All of those purchases, if they cannot be supplemented, are like must have. So for example, doing your nails is like a must have. Getting someone to do your hair, like that's a must have. That's an agreeable expense that makes 100% 100% sense. Getting a house that you like to live in every single day makes 100% sense. Buying a car that you need so you can drive around if you need, not we, but if anyone needed to, that makes 100% sense. Just things that I think that don't make sense are the ones where it's purchases that you make frequently that don't really derive any other value than the fact of you pleasuring your, like, releasing your own dopamine. So it just, like, for example, I still don't agree with Didi's coffees, and I don't agree with her everyday salads. Because you know what else too? I have a very strict diet schedule, and knowing I have to eat 5 to 7 meals a day, I know that if I constantly eat things that aren't extremely like easy to make at home, my diet will become very expensive every day.
But
And I'll
I
end up
eat
spending
eat like 2 meals a day, right? Like I don't need that much for my life. Like I eat 2 very good high quality things, but I don't need all that.
Okay, well then it
I'm
works
not
for you.
eating ground
This
beef
fight
5
is
times a
endless.
day.
Why don't we choose one thing that we've spent money on recently that we've loved? Can we all name one thing that we love?
I can.
Okay,
Yeah.
there you go.
Hygiene products.
Is there a brand you care about?
Give us a specific one.
A brand, probably Native. Native's always been
I
my
was gonna
favorite.
say, I feel like I see a lot
We
of.
should also do one waste of money. What's
Okay,
one thing
fine.
you
Let's
wasted
do
money
one
on?
round of what? Okay, what do we love?
Veer, what'd you waste money on? I have a lot of
I-
hints for you.
Waste money on clothes. I feel like sometimes I buy like unnecessary clothes.
Okay, all right.
I brought
Yeah.
this on cloud sneakers, which I love, which I replace with their latest ones. It helps me run. I wear them all the time, and I love them. And in
Okay.
terms of waste, the Santa Maria Novella shaving cream. It's just so wasteful.
Yeah, that. I'm like, this is also another issue. Your shaving creams are the most insane thing I've ever seen in my life.
Yeah, I don't know
Throughout
why I
history.
bought such an expensive one. I mean, any shaving cream.
Okay,
is
but
not-
to be fair, sometimes when he does these things, the family falls in love with them. Like when he bought that expensive nail clipper, we all used it for 5 years.
I also
Yeah, that is true. That
Anytime
is
we
clever.
make an expense, you guys find
I
a way to
also, as soon
justify
as
it. Are
I'm
you
home from
noticing a trend?
college, whose bathroom am I going in? Dad's. Why? Because he has the good stuff. Like,
Exactly. Sometimes they hit. Sometimes they
it
land.
hits. It hits. It hits. He has
Rich.
great taste.
I think one purchase I made recently is, as many of you guys know, I'm a very big guy on experiences. I think that putting your phone down and doing something fun with people you love is the best thing you can spend money on.
I'm going to
And
Coldplay next weekend.
that's amazing.
No,
Concert.
you're not. No, you're not. But finish, Bridge.
So I recently had the chance to take my brother and my girlfriend to this place called Sugar Factory, which was a really fun dessert place. And they had this amazing fun celebration for Veer because we pretended like it was his birthday with 20 scoops of ice cream. It was just an insane like
It was called the
ice cream
King Kong
meal.
Sunday.
Yeah, King Kong Sunday. It was so good and it was so much fun. So that was definitely my best purchase. And then in terms of waste
Oh
of
wait,
money.
hold on. Here, I have a. This is me eating the King Kong Sunday.
Oh yeah.
Yeah.
Oh, that was so cute.
Wait, show it for longer. Show it for longer so people
Yeah,
can
so
see
it-
it, like
yeah,
the
yeah.
camera can settle in. Yeah,
I-
wait.
Oh.
It's a reflection. Yeah.
And what's a wasteful thing, Bridge?
Wow, he doesn't have
Oh,
any
he's just gonna,
wasteful
no,
expenses.
no. He does.
What do I have? Like I really can't. Veer, you hang on me every day. What do you think I spend money on that I shouldn't?
According to your definition, ice cream is something that's unnecessary that we make frequently.
But
That
that's once in a year. Like my definition is frequently, right?
That's not once in a
really
year.
infrequently. We do. I'm never gonna take you to Sugar Factory again, and we've
Also,
never taken you to
whenever
I got
Veer-
I got ice cream with you like one to 2 weeks ago.
Also, whenever
And-
Veer
Again,
gets
It's not an everyday occurrence, Veer.
Yeah.
It's not.
I know what it is. Whenever Veer gets seltzer or any sort of like nicer snack, you eat all of it.
Yeah.
And then he doesn't
Bro,
get to have
what?
any of his
That's
snacks.
not
And also
true.
just opening a seltzer can and never finishing it, that's wasteful, Bridge. You do that all the time.
I don't do that all the time.
Oh, maybe it's Veer that does it all the time. Who leaves all these opened, unfinished seltzer cans on the kitchen, which I then finish?
Probably
that
me.
drives me
Probably, that's
insane.
probably me.
I know what mine is. Okay, my good expense is this silk scrunchie. I don't know what it is. This scrunchie is slightly more stop it, Bridge. You don't have
Why are you
hair.
laughing? It's okay.
You
She's
don't-
It's
allowed.
even for good expenses at that expense. Like I don't understand. It's the only like thinking about
This
this.
high quality scrunchie makes my hair feel so good. It lasts. It lasts me through my runs. It lasts me through my meetings. It was worth the additional purchase. My bad expense is my treat. My treat for after pod, which I already have elegantly laid out for me. I already got it in advance.
Hey, Mom, she's
got
not
it,
at the
that's
coffee
why you
shop.
were late.
Shop.
Yeah.
Okay. All
Yeah,
right.
that's why you were late to the podcast. Actually, that's a good observation.
That was not why I was late for the podcast. As I've said in the past, I have 9 a.m. start. You guys have 12 p.m. start. You guys have more time than me.
We woke up at
Die on this
11:50
hill.
today.
Okay, all right. My big good expense is my sneakers and my bags. Lately, I've been getting back into the sneaker and bag game. I mean, I love sneakers always. And I do think that some of the things that I've spent money on, like, um, I buy a lot of magazines and books in the airports. A lot, because I spend a lot of time sitting around at the airport. And I've kind of now, I think I'm going to have to throw in the towel and go digital with this stuff because I end up wasting money. It's very heavy to carry around and lug around. And I think I've resisted it for a long time. I've been wanting to like read a real book and read a real magazine. But I think I'm about to give it up because now it's too heavy. I can't put once it's in the overhead compartment, I can't have access to it.
Yeah.
I might have to give up and go the Kindle route. And I
Or
spend a lot
audiobook.
of money on it. So it's not like a trivial amount of money. I buy a lot of books and a lot of magazines everywhere. I mean, I will buy The Economist at full price because I want to read it while I'm in the airplane.
Do you remember
Even
that
though
gift I made you, Mom, one year?
Yes.
Out of the magazines?
Yes.
One year I made Mom a gift where I got like 10 of her favorite magazines and I wrote all in it for her.
Shalabh, you were saying something?
No, I wasn't saying it.
And I just want to further clarify my point because I want to make it one last argument because I think it's like important. I am a large part of me. I wouldn't say large. A very large minority of me is preparing for the like realistic world and where I don't rely on my parents' money anymore. And when I do that, I have to think of all the purchases that I would be able to make with my own money. I don't have like basically no money. I'm very, very broke as like a person. I've done a lot of work, so I can like I have some money, but nothing compared to like being able to live by yourself. So a lot of what I do is kind of seeing, okay, where can I replace this with this, which is less expensive, so that when I have to do it myself, I can instantly go to that. And I don't have to worry about like doing all this whole
But
process
Bridge, that
before
is
that.
almost exactly the point that your mother tried to make.
Yeah.
That no one in the world can grow if they consistently think like that. The better approach, or another approach, can be that I want to focus on essentially growing my top line all the time, because the more I grow my top
100%.
line,
Bridge,
But
and you
I agree
will.
100%, but you don't have like I don't have a baseline right now to do that. Whenever I grow my baseline, it's because I'm reinvesting my own money into my own brand. For example, when I launched and had like a bunch of social media clients, I invested all of my own money that I've made, basically all of it, so that I'd be able to offer a better service and a better service handling. And in the meanwhile, so I can still eat and drink, I can't get what I need. Like it's not like I'm saving money. I don't have money to spend on better things. Like that's the ideal. That's like actually how it was for me at the beginning of this semester. That's literally how it was. I invested practically everything back into my company, which I would still argue was a great way to use my money because I needed to be able to support and keep reinvesting. Like I think one thing that gets confused on this podcast is the idea of like how our money as a family has worked. Right? Mom started her business, and I'm not taking anything from anyone, but mom started her business with a higher baseline than how I'm gonna start my business with. Right? I'm not going to have that 20 years of, even though you've worked every single day for it, I'm not saying you haven't. I'm just saying you had a baseline when you started your business as a comedian more than what I will have. And way, like much more than I will have. I won't have a house when I start, like, as I've already started my own brand and business. But so when I'm reinvesting all of my money and keep trying to do all these different things, I have to not, save money and be like, oh, I can't buy that. But literally be like, okay, this might be a better purchase so that I can use this money in this way, if that makes sense.
Okay. I mean, I understand, Bridge, and you have to find your own equilibrium that makes sense to you.
Yeah.
But hopefully, you're always preoccupied with growing the top line and not worrying so much about the bottom line. But
Yeah,
our
100%.
this has been our episode on money and secrets about money and quirky, weird habits that we have with money. We would love to hear what you're doing in your families, in your homes, and put it all in comments. We're reading everything. Every one of us reads every comment. And as we end every episode with a round of good grades with Gargs, so too we're going to end this episode with a round of good grades with Gargs, where each Garg assigns another Garg the winning A grade for the episode, an iconic moment, an entertaining moment, or just a moment that stood out for no reason at all. So who wants to go first with good grades with Gargs? Okay, Zoya, go.
Mom gets the A grade for defending the Garg women name with such
Bro.
valor and vigor. And it was not easy because they were trying to attack you from every angle. And I appreciated what you did for both of us.
actually, I'm going to give my A grade to Zoya. I think that, $7 coffee notwithstanding, she prioritized health very early on from very, very young age. I think from 13 or 14 years of age, and led the leadership on that front, in terms of how to stay healthy, whether it was a yoga certification. She's a certified yogi. She can teach yoga, not just practice yoga. And all of that deserves an A grade in my book.
Oh, thanks, Dad.
Okay.
I give my A grade to mom. I thought that she did a great job this episode, staying fully like on top of every conversation and defending her points really well. And I feel like I've learned so much through what you said this podcast episode.
Whoa.
Oh, whoa.
That's
Okay,
two,
I
Mom.
feel like that's a trap. I feel like it's a honey trap. Okay, who? Brit Veer?
Okay, I'll give my A grade to Baya because I feel like he did a good job of responding and defending points that I didn't think I could have responded to.
Okay. I give my A grade to Bridge because I've seen him live the life that he's describing in this podcast. I've seen him eat things that absolutely are, oh my God, but he doesn't want to spend the money. He doesn't want to go out, and he still wants to stick to his health regimen. He is evolving to be an astonishingly disciplined human being and really sticking to his guns, not just saying that, not just talking the talk, but actually walking the walk. And for that, he deserves the A grade. And now we cannot wait to hear what you guys are doing in your families, the money you're saving, the money you're spending, the brands you're loving, the brands you're hating. Put it all in the comment section. Please like, share, and subscribe our episode. Let's bring more people into this universe. And until we meet next time, everybody say bye.
Bye.
Bye.